Public sector accounting is very important for any country's government. It's basically the way a government records all its money, both coming in and going out. When this is done well, it creates transparency. This means citizens, leaders, and international partners can clearly see how public funds are being used. Good accounting helps build trust between the government and its people. It also helps leaders make better decisions for the future of the nation. Without clear financial records, it is very difficult to manage a country's resources effectively, plan for big projects like new schools or hospitals, or show the world that the country is financially responsible and stable for investment. Ipsas 10 is a specific rule within the International Public Sector Accounting Standards. Its full name is Financial Reporting in Hyperinflationary Economies. This standard is designed for a very specific and serious economic situation. It becomes important when a country's money is losing its value very quickly, a condition known as hyperinflation. In such times, normal accounting numbers become meaningless because the currency's purchasing power changes so fast. Ipsas 10 tells governments how to adjust their financial reports to show the real economic picture. It ensures that financial statements are not misleading and reflect the true impact of this rapid inflation on government finances. Currently, Pakistan's public sector uses a system called cash basis accounting. The country has adopted the cash basis Ipsas, which is seen as a good first step in modernizing its financial management. This system is quite simple. It records money only when it is actually received or when it is actually paid out. For example, if the government buys new computers for a school, the expense is only recorded when the cash payment is made to the supplier. Similarly, tax money is only recorded as income when it arrives in the government's bank account. This method provides a straightforward look at the cash flow of the government over a certain period. However, the focus on cash basis Ipsas means that other important standards, like Ipsas 10, are not the main priority right now. Pakistan's main goal is to improve its basic financial reporting through the cash basis standard. This is part of a larger reform effort to improve public financial management across the country. The long-term plan is to eventually move towards a more complete system of accounting, known as accrual accounting. This gradual approach allows the public sector to build its skills and systems slowly. The journey towards adopting the full set of Ipsas, which includes standards for all kinds of economic situations, is a long one that requires careful planning and execution. The cash basis system, while simple, has significant limitations. Its biggest weakness is that it does not show a complete picture of a government's financial health. It only tells you about cash movements. It fails to record important things like government assets, such as buildings and roads, or long-term liabilities, such as future pension payments for government employees or loans that need to be repaid. For example, if the government promises to pay a large pension amount in 20 years, this future cost does not appear in the current cash-based reports. This can make the government's financial position look much stronger than it actually is, hiding potential problems from policymakers and the public. This lack of complete information creates a big problem for financial transparency. Without knowing the full extent of its assets and liabilities, it is hard for the government to manage its resources for the long term. Important economic decisions might be made based on incomplete data. For instance, the government might not realize the full cost of maintaining a new highway over the next 30 years. This can lead to poor planning and financial difficulties later on. True accountability is difficult when citizens and oversight bodies cannot see the full story of how public resources are being managed and what future obligations are being created for the next generation. Pakistan faces many challenges in moving from a simple cash basis system to a full accrual Ipsas system. One of the biggest barriers is technology. The current IT infrastructure in many government departments is not advanced enough to handle the complex requirements of accrual accounting. This type of accounting needs sophisticated software to track assets, liabilities, depreciation, and other non-cash items. Upgrading these systems across the entire public sector requires a very large financial investment. Without the right technology, implementing these new standards would be almost impossible and could lead to many errors in financial reporting. Another major challenge is the need for education and training. Accrual accounting is more complex than cash basis accounting. Many accountants and financial managers in the public sector are trained only in the current system. A massive effort is needed to retrain thousands of employees, from local government offices to federal ministries. This requires developing new curriculums, organizing workshops, and providing continuous professional development. Furthermore, there can be institutional resistance to change. People are often comfortable with the old way of doing things, and convincing them to adopt a new, more difficult system can be a slow and challenging process that requires strong leadership. Despite the challenges, the benefits of moving towards full Ipsas adoption are immense for Pakistan. The most important benefit is improved decision-making. When leaders have a complete and accurate picture of the government's financial position, including all assets and liabilities, they can make much better strategic choices. They can plan for long-term projects more effectively, manage government debt more responsibly, and ensure that public services are sustainable for years to come. For instance, knowing the true cost of healthcare services, including future commitments, can help in creating a more realistic and effective national health budget that serves the people better. Another significant benefit is enhanced governance and accountability. Full Ipsas adoption makes government finances more transparent. This transparency helps in reducing corruption because it becomes much harder to hide irregular transactions. When financial reports are clear and comprehensive, it is easier for audit institutions, Parliament, and the public to hold the government accountable for how it spends public money. This can lead to better use of resources, ensuring that funds are directed towards important public priorities like education, infrastructure, and poverty reduction. It builds a foundation of trust between the state and its citizens, which is essential for a stable democracy. Furthermore, adopting internationally recognized accounting standards can improve Pakistan's standing in the global community. It signals to international partners, like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, that the country is committed to good governance and sound financial management. This can increase Pakistan's access to foreign aid, grants, and favorable loans. International investors are also more likely to have confidence in an economy where financial reporting is transparent and reliable. This can attract much-needed foreign direct investment, which helps to create jobs and stimulate economic growth for the entire country. To move forward, Pakistan should adopt a practical, step-by-step approach. The government should not try to implement all Ipsas standards at once. Instead, it should continue with its phased strategy. The first step is to strengthen the current cash basis IPSS implementation and ensure it is working well across all government departments. This builds a solid foundation for more complex reforms. At the same time, the government can begin introducing some elements of accrual accounting. For example, it could start by preparing a statement of assets and liabilities, even if it is not fully audited at first, to build capacity. A key part of the strategy must be a major investment in human resources. The government, in partnership with professional accounting bodies and universities, should launch a nationwide training program. This program must be designed to build the skills of public sector accountants and auditors in accrual-based accounting principles. It should include both foundational courses for junior staff and advanced workshops for senior financial managers. Creating a pool of well-trained professionals is the most critical investment for the long-term success of these financial reforms. Without skilled people to manage the new system, even the best technology will not be effective. Simultaneously, Pakistan must begin the process of upgrading its technological infrastructure. This involves investing in new financial management information systems, or FMIS, that can support the requirements of accrual accounting. This is a long and expensive process, so it should be planned carefully. The government could start with pilot projects in a few key ministries to test the new systems before rolling them out across the entire public sector. Engaging with technology partners and learning from the experiences of other countries that have made this transition can help Pakistan avoid common mistakes and implement a system that is both effective and sustainable. Engaging all stakeholders is also crucial for success. The government needs to communicate the benefits of these reforms to everyone involved, including politicians, civil servants, and the general public. This can help overcome resistance to change and build broad support for the reform agenda. Creating a high-level committee with representatives from the Ministry of Finance, the Auditor General's Office, and professional accounting bodies can provide the necessary leadership and coordination. This committee would be responsible for overseeing the entire transition process, setting realistic timelines, and monitoring progress to ensure the project stays on track and delivers its intended benefits. In conclusion, the journey towards adopting the full suite of Ipsas, including specific standards like Ipsas 10 when needed, is a challenging but necessary path for Pakistan. While the current cash-basis system is a useful starting point, its limitations prevent true financial transparency and accountability. By taking a gradual, well-planned approach that focuses on building human capacity, upgrading technology, and engaging stakeholders, Pakistan can successfully transition to a more robust accounting system. This transformation will not happen overnight, but it holds the promise of a future where public finances are managed more effectively, building a stronger and more prosperous nation for all its citizens.